Point is a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
The American Broadcasting Company, ABC.
You make me smile. I love the funny things you say.
They're just incredible together, the way they work off each other.
Well, big night last night. Went to...
Every night's a big night with you, Reed.
They just have a nice connection with the both of them. You know, it's gorgeous.
They are a great pair, and they are hysterical.
I love the way they tease each other. I can't wake up without them.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Channel 29. The candidates, the races, the issues, the results. Your vote counts, and the team to count on for the 94 vote is 29 Eyewitness News, with live coverage from local election headquarters. Join Don Clark, Jackie Parks, and the entire Eyewitness News team, plus special election analyst Gene Tackett, for complete coverage of the June 7th election. The 94 vote, only on 29 Eyewitness News.
Channel 29, KBAK-TV, Bakersfield.
Live from Bakersfield and throughout the Southern Valley, this is Eyewitness News with Don Clark, Jackie Parks, Greg Kerr with sports, and weather with Gary Butterworth.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Here are the stories making news at this hour. Well, tragedy was avoided tonight when a bus went over a cliff on Interstate 5 on the Grapevine tonight.
The California Highway Patrol received the call of a school bus full of children over the edge just south of Lebec at about 10:15 tonight. Well, fortunately, when officers arrived, they only found one victim.
There were no children aboard that bus that crashed south of Bakersfield. The driver was the only one on board, and the driver's injuries at this time are unknown.
In other local news tonight, the Downtown Convention Center hotel project may not be the signed and sealed deal Bakersfield city officials first thought.
A technical problem with the contract threw the city council into an emergency closed-door meeting tonight over that $16 million project.
The meeting just finished minutes ago on Channel 29. Charlotte Stark is standing by live at City Hall with this report. Charlotte?
Well, Don, Jackie, there are a lot of things that were just getting finalized, actually final documents for the Convention Center Hotel. Take a look at the video that we have because we've all seen it driving down Truxtun Avenue. It's been an eyesore for some time, and everyone's anxious to see construction begin. It should begin, actually, June 13th is what we hear tonight. But what the city of Bakersfield wants to do is to sort of make a foolproof contract so that never again will we be caught in the same situation that we were last time. Now, they had a bond to protect the city if the contractor defaulted on the deal. What they didn't have is a bond to protect the city if the developer defaulted. Now, with me is City Manager Alan Tandy, and this has been an issue that has taken you in behind closed doors to discuss. Tell us, what was the agreement, and what is that going to mean for a deal that is $16 million at this point?
Well, the agreement with the Hammonds firm was that they would add an additional layer of security for us, that being $1 million in cash placed in an escrow account in a local bank. In the event that they would become delayed for any unforeseeable reason in paying progress payments to their contractor, that money would be released after 45 days to the city of Bakersfield as a penalty. They are willing to do that because they don't consider that there's any remote chance that contingent event would occur. However, because of the history of the project, the City Council was interested in every possible form of security.
So for a project that is ultimately $16 million, the $1 million would cover about 3 months worth of work?
Well, the $16 million includes the estimates for the ballroom meeting room, which are owned by the city, and also includes a federal grant being passed on to the developer. Their direct out-of-pocket costs from the developer, about $13 million. And the whole project is set up on a monthly drawdown schedule, which is monitored and so on. And so if they have paid the first 4 or 5 months in a routine manner, then the $5 or $6 million associated with that is cleared and off the books. So the $1 million is designed to deal with about a 30-day event or 30-day time frame.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr.
Thank
Tandy,
you
for staying up late with us, too. Now, they expect to get the signature from the developer sometime tomorrow. They don't expect any objections. They've had the okay from the negotiator. They just have to, the negotiator has to go back to John Q. Hammonds and get their approval. Actually, the good news also tonight is that the project is in budget. As we said, construction to begin June 13th. Back to you, Donna and Jackie.
Certainly can't blame the city council for wanting an extra assurance here and there.
Exactly.
Well, bottom line, it looks like it's still on track, so we'll see what tomorrow brings. That was Charlotte Stark reporting to us live from the city council meeting.
Well, we still don't know exactly what the final price tag for the hotel project might be, but we may already be paying more for our electricity here in Kern County. A shocking new study shows that electricity customers in Kern County and all across the state are paying about 50% more for power than the national average. And that was equal to $6.4 billion in 1992 for agriculture, industrial, and residential customers. The study was unveiled by a group called the Consumer Alliance for Electricity Rate Reductions, and along with some local residents, they're fed up.
We've been paying extreme amounts for our electricity here in California, not just agriculture, not just residential, not just any one entity, but all of us have been paying entirely too much.
Now, a PG&E spokesperson says that there are incentives and flexible programs for all different kinds of customers, and cost control is a priority. Well, tonight, a Kern County farmer has launched his battle in court against federal charges accusing him of killing an endangered species. Tao Ming Lin has been charged with 3 counts of harming the kangaroo rat, leopard lizard, and kit fox while plowing his land near I-5 and Taft Highway. After appearing in court in Fresno today, Lin told Eyewitness News through his translator he does not believe the charges against him nor the evidence seized.
Ask them what kind of animal you catch, and they show him the small rocks, but that is frozen. He takes from his car, the cooler, refrigerator cooler. So he don't believe that is from his land.
But Lin believes he is innocent and believes that American law will find him innocent. If found guilty, though, he faces thousands of dollars in fines and up to 18 months in jail.
Well, it looks like your help is going to make the difference. Today, a group of local businessmen put out a SOS on behalf of a local historic masterpiece. The Fox Theater now sports a big banner pleading for people to help save it. The Downtown Business Association is spearheading the drive to raise the money for the deal to buy the old theater so that it can be transformed as a performing arts center. The association says $50,000 in pledges are in so far. They need another $50,000 by 1 week from today. Spokesman Jeff Johnson thinks they can do it.
Well, if they're really serious about saving the Fox, now's the time to step forward with $1, $10, $100, $1,000, or whatever they can afford to give.
The Los Angeles owner of the Fox has finally been convinced to sell the theater for $500,000. Anyone who wants to pledge support should call the Downtown Business Association. Well, if you thought you saw a giant apple roll into Bakersfield today, you weren't seeing things. The balloon was brought in by local educators and parents to bolster support for Proposition 1B. That's the so-called Safe Schools campaign. It's a bond measure which would take money from the general fund to pay for new schools and upgrade old schools.
We think that because we're one of the faster growing communities in our state, that we will get more out of it than we put in. So we think that's good for local folks.
The voters will have a chance to decide Proposition 1B during next week's election. Tune in to Channel 29 Tuesday, June the 6th to find out the results.
Safer schools are probably the last thing on the minds of some Garces High seniors tonight. Graduation ceremonies officially began with the 47th commencement of Garces Memorial High School. More than 100 students graduated during ceremonies at the Convention Center tonight. An overwhelming majority of these students at Garces have already been accepted to colleges and universities all across the country. Garces seniors are the first 1994 graduating class in Bakersfield.
Well, the CHP is hoping that its sober graduation campaign will make those graduates and the streets safer during this graduation season. This death marred the season last year when a drunk slammed into another grad, killing him on Highway 58 and Stockdale Highway. But since 1987, the CHP says its sober graduation program is actually working. Events like this simulated accident last week at a high school drove the point home to those students.
Peer pressure seems to be helping out a lot where students are taking care of each other and just encouraging each other not to drink and then drive. So it seems to be working out quite well.
Officer Wimbish told Channel 29's Jerry May that local businesses and organizations help out with alcohol-free graduation parties. And he adds, people under 18 can have their driver's licenses taken away for possession of alcohol, even if they are not behind the wheel.
And in other graduation news, inmates at Wasco Prison are maximizing their time by giving themselves a chance at a brighter future. 31 Wasco inmates have made the most of their prison terms by graduating from high school. The graduates were part of a larger group that received recognition for their accomplishments from behind bars. Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown was at the ceremony to personally thank the men for their hard work. Enrollment in education classes at the prison is strictly on a voluntary basis. In news from around California tonight, the streets in Los Angeles are quiet after the jury's decision in the Rodney King case.
The decision is Rodney King will get no money from the individual officers involved. Now, that same jury that awarded King $8 million from the city of L.A. said there would be no punitive damages awarded from the officers. That ruling, despite the decision that those officers acted with malice toward Rodney King, King's attorney shared his views on the decision.
I think we sent a message to let the L.A. Police Department know, as well as hopefully any other police officers throughout this country, if you maliciously beat someone, a human being, as Rodney King was beat March 3rd, 1991, we will not stop until we try to get you incarcerated and make you pay personally.
That jury also decided not to award any money to Officer Theodore Brasino. He had filed a countersuit against King. Well, not too far south of here in Castaic, a military helicopter that was on a training mission was forced to land. It apparently was winds that caused the chopper to land on a forest ridge late yesterday. Luckily, there were no injuries to any of the 7 members of the crew. However, enough damage was done to that chopper to prevent it from flying any farther.
Still much more news to come. Powerful congressional leader is given a federal court date to face corruption charges.
We'll be right back.
It's not Harvard. It's not Yale. It's not Princeton. It's the training class at home base, and all of our employees have to pass it. At home base, all our sales and service staff have received more training. This week, they'll help you redo your bathroom, kitchen, and other tiled areas in your home exposed to moisture with USG water-resistant Durox cement tile backer board. Home base, ready to help.
Hi, I'm Connie Bruni. In my campaign for supervisor, I've been walking door to door. Our neighbors are concerned about graffiti, crime, tightening budgets, and improving our individual neighborhoods. I'm the only candidate who can do the job with the energy, experience, and expertise that's needed in order to get things done. When the pressure's on, I can take the heat. I'll need your help, but I'm certain we can make a difference. I'm Connie Bruni. May I have your vote?
You're watching Eyewitness News, only on KBAK-TV, Channel 29.
Gotta get it at God Shops Expressions. Gotta have it. Great looking print rompers for $14.99 to $19.99. Dress the part to look that new. Fresh and hot, exciting and new. Rayon skirts from LaBelle for only $29.99. All that jazz rayon dresses, $29.99. Long dresses and jumpsuits, $39.99. Gotta get it at God Shops Expressions.
Channel 29 Productions makes television commercials that help local businesses take off.
Channel 29 does an excellent job of capturing the excitement, the sound, the visual effect of auto racing within that 30-second spot that we have to work with.
Now it's your turn to rev up new business. Give Channel 29 Productions a call at 327-7955. We'll help you break away from the pack.
Stories making news around the nation tonight. One of the most powerful men in Congress probably will not spend next Monday remembering the D-Day invasion. He's going to be in court fighting for his personal and political future.
Illinois Congressman Dan Rostenkowski has a date with a federal judge to be arraigned on several counts of corruption. Rostenkowski's indictment yesterday accuses him of charges ranging from mail fraud to tampering with a federal witness. He'll be arraigned in a Washington federal court on June 10th. Rostenkowski's successor as House Ways and Means Chair, Florida Democrat Sam Gibbons, vows to continue the push for health care reform. President Clinton is in Rome tonight, the first stop of his 8-day trip to Europe. He's scheduled to meet with Pope John Paul tomorrow at the Vatican. During the course of his trip, he will also take part in ceremonies commemorating the 50th anniversary of D-Day. Before Mr. Clinton left Washington earlier in the day, he and Hillary Rodham Clinton laid flowers at a monument dedicated to the first unit to storm Normandy's beaches. Well, over in Taiwan, lawmakers are slugging it out again, literally.
For the second day in a row, a fist fight broke out in the Taiwanese parliament. This time, this fight was over how many members need to be present in the parliament to conduct their business. This slugfest you're looking at went on for almost an hour. 2 lawmakers suffered head and arm injuries. They had to be taken to the hospital. This parliament is trying to come up with a constitutional reform package. Rebels and government troops in the African nation of Rwanda continue to slug it out between themselves and massacre the innocents around them. An American official says the United States is now going to send about 50 vehicles to that blood-soaked nation. They will be used to help evacuate thousands of refugees who are stranded without food or water in the capital city of Kigali. Continued mortar and artillery attacks have cut off Kigali from any aid and stranded thousands of civilians inside. At least 200,000 civilians have been killed since this fighting began just 2 months ago.
When we come back, Gary Butterworth will have a complete weather report, including a sneak peek at the weekend.
That when Eyewitness News at 11 continues.
There is so much dissatisfaction in spending your hard-earned money today that when people experience a store that is legitimately interested in their satisfaction, I think people respond extremely well to that experience. At the Men's Warehouse, you're going to find popular priced, branded clothing, brands that you have heard of with the best service that you'll ever get in buying a suit. I guarantee it.
The Men's Warehouse in Fresno, Visalia, and Bakersfield.
Congressman Bill Thomas has established a long record as a tax fighter. Here's what the National Taxpayers Union has to say.
As you know, many members of Congress talk about balancing the budget, but your outstanding score in our rating of Congress shows that you backed up those words with votes. If every member of Congress cast spending votes as carefully as you, we would have a balanced federal budget, lower taxes, and a healthier economy. Thank you for your fine efforts on behalf of American taxpayers.
You're watching Eyewitness News, only on KBAK-TV, Channel 29.
Get away, get away. All aboard for everybody that wants to get away. Lots of people, lots of places, waiting down the line. All aboard for everybody, it's getaway time.
For low round-trip fares to hundreds of destinations throughout California, call your travel agent or Amtrak, 1-800-USA-RAIL.
Beware, the following images may be too graphic for some viewers. Danone Pure Indulgence frozen yogurt. So yummy, it might make ice cream history.
Tonight's weather brought to you by Godshocks, offering exceptional everyday values on fashion.
Well, Gary says he's changing his mind a little bit.
Yeah. You know, meteorology is a dynamic, imperfect science. Well, we've heard that before, and it's becoming true this week. Let's go out there right now. Let me warn you, you might want a befriended air conditioner for tomorrow. It's going to be on the warm side. 73 is the temperature right now. As we look out at Red Rock Canyon, Dan Kirshner took this shot here. That is one beautiful place. 48% is the relative humidity. Winds are northeasterly at 6, and the barometer is steady, 29.92 inches of mercury. High today, 89. Overnight low, 57. Yeah, very seasonable day. A little bit warmer tomorrow. If you're going to be out at Red Rock Canyon tomorrow, be prepared to sweat a little bit. It's going to be warm out there. The deserts are going to start creeping into the triple digits tomorrow. It's going to be quite warm. High pressure building in over California tonight. In fact, you know, we normally talk about the month of June being June gloom along the coast. Well, do you see any clouds along here? No, it was a beautiful day down there. 85, the high in L.A., 10 degrees above normal. There was a front that kind of plowed through the northern part of the state earlier today, but the whole bottom of this thing is being sheared off tonight. It's all moving way out to the east, out towards Montana. So we'll say goodbye to that system, but keep your eye on this one right here. This one out in the Pacific, born out of the Gulf of Alaska, has a little more punch to it. Chances are it's going to track a little farther to the south as it gets set to budge this high pressure out of the way later on in the week. So we might see a little bit of cooling, let's say come Friday or so and on into the weekend. So it's going to get a little better after we get a little bit warmer the next day or so. We're talking about warm today. Tucson, Arizona, 103 degrees, the third day in a row of record heat for them. You factor in the heat and the humidity. Down here in Texas, I want to make sure I get the name of this town right, Kingsville, Texas, just to the west of Corpus Christi, 117 degrees. You factor in the heat and the humidity. Humidity, of course, responsible for all these thunderstorms lined up right here. And the thunderstorms continue in Iowa tonight. I want to take you to Chelsea, Iowa, where the city council is doing kind of an unusual thing. Their memories are very vivid of last year's floods, and that's what you're looking at right here. They're voting right here to say, hey, if we get this happening here again, let's just move the town to higher ground. And it looks to me like the way the weather's looking tonight, that's what's going to happen. Look what's happening tomorrow. More thunderstorms across Iowa. The plains are going to get hit pretty hard again. More thunderstorms down on the Gulf Coast here. Warm, should I say hot, muggy 90s from the peninsula of Florida back on through Texas once again. Nice day in the mid-Atlantic for tomorrow. While sunshine and warmth is going to be the rule for today across California as well. Sunshine everywhere you look. Look out, it's going to be windy once again down in San Luis Obispo, back on through Santa Barbara. Could see what they call that sundowner condition again tomorrow night. And hot in Palm Springs. How about 108? Here comes Kern County's microclimates for tomorrow. Hot in our deserts as well. Breezy in the Tehachapi's. Winds gusting to out of the northwest to 30 miles an hour. So careful driving if you're going over the Grapevine or anything down that way over I-5. Tonight we're near 60 in the Southern Valley, 40s in the mountains, 50s in the high deserts. And for tomorrow, we're creeping back up to those dreaded 90s once again. Near 80 in some of the mountain locations, too. Fraser Park at 80 tomorrow. Clear skies tonight, low of 60. Then for tomorrow, sunshine, moderate air quality with a high of 92. Here's our 5-day forecast. A little bit better on Friday. The weekend, though, with the exception of that chance of a thunderstorm or two in the mountains, not looking too bad. Mostly 80s.
Okay. We'll be right back.
At Gottschalk's 4-day sale, you'll find selected colorful short sets priced at $9.99 and $14.99.
Save 50% on our men's short sleeve solid color silk shirts, only $9.99.
Imported baskets from Indonesia, now $4.79 to $19.19 at Gottschalk's 4-day sale.
The Wilson years, a never-ending fiscal crisis. Hundreds of millions of tax dollars wasted. For California taxpayers, Treasurer Kathleen Brown kept California solvent. She refinanced debt, saving $249 million, took charge of our $26 billion investment fund, and earned taxpayers a record $4 billion. For Governor, Kathleen Brown, America's best treasurer to revive America's worst economy.
One isn't the loneliest number when it's one sandwich with 2 flame-broiled burgers. Now at Burger King, get the new 1/3 pound Mega Double Cheese and then some. Fries and a drink for the everyday price of just $3.49. That's one great value, so you can invite someone to join you. Get a new Mega Double Cheese value meal for only $3.49 every day at Burger King. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place, it just tastes that way.
Once you've seen it all, come to the theme park where you can do it all. Come to Six Flags Magic Mountain for the rides. Thrilling rides like the all-new Batman the Ride. Rides the whole family can enjoy, and even rides for little ones in Bugs Bunny World. Enjoy great shows like the Batman Stunt Show and the all-new Police Academy live action show, all in 10 different themed lands. So come today to California's biggest theme park, Six Flags Magic Mountain, for the ride of your life.
Save up to $10 on Six Flags admission with a coupon from participating bonds.
Senator David Roberti banned assault weapons. The NRA couldn't defeat him. Now they hope a smear campaign will. Don't let the NRA win. Roberti for treasurer.
1 in every 2 Americans over the age of 60 will get some form of arthritis.
And unfortunately, there is no known cure for this crippling disease. But now, researchers believe they've found a way to ease the pain from arthritis, often without drugs.
Al Hinman has the story.
When you have arthritis, moving your hands can be not only painful, but often nearly impossible. For this group of arthritis patients, a heated pool takes much of the hurt out of once impossible moves.
All right, now take the thumb, touch the knuckle of each finger.
3 times a week at Piedmont Hospital's Health and Fitness Rehabilitation Center in Atlanta, Amy Andrews keeps these women moving. She leads these arthritis patients in a carefully designed 45-minute aerobic exercise program. In similar classes every day across the country, warm water's the key.
And the warmth of the water does help loosen up the joints and does increase their mobility while they're in the water.
This pool is heated to about 93 degrees. Advocates of the program say anything over about 83 degrees is beneficial.
The advantage of the warm water exercise is that patients get to move their joints through a complete range of motion.
The Arthritis Foundation promotes warm water exercise as an important part of a comprehensive treatment program. Patients tell of the benefits of increased mobility and range of motion lasting up to 3 days. There are no known long-term medical studies on the benefits, but several decades of anecdotal evidence has many physicians touting the therapeutic benefits of warm water exercise.
People with arthritis, when they hurt, have a tendency not to move their joints, and it's really important for them to be able to maintain range of motion.
And if you're interested in something like that, our own Kern County Arthritis Foundation has an aquatic center right across the street on Westwind Drive.
One of our neighbors here, you bet. Greg Kerr on deck with tonight's scores and game highlights.
He says Reggie and the Pacers spike the Knicks. He'll have holiday sports and much more when Eyewitness News continues.
In the direction of, yes, Batman, giving the choke sign.
The Broadway two-day sale, starring solar-powered savings for the summer. Get the most of the season's casual style. Take on the sun in cool cotton comfort. Make a splash at the beach or your own backyard. You'll find great summer savings for every occasion, from busy days in the office to lunches in the park, and every step in between. The hottest savings of the season are at the two-day sale, Friday and Saturday, 9 to 10 at the Broadway.
Jeff Newman again, this time for Sparkle Uniform Rental Service. What do image-conscious local companies like Clark Pest Control, Jim Burke Ford Lincoln Mercury, Advanced Beverage, and the Bakersfield Californian have in common? They think Sparkle Uniform Rental Service is a superior value. If your company is image-conscious, you should be wearing our uniforms. Call me personally, and I'll prove it.
People are demanding that our neighborhoods be made safe again. We have to change a system that's dumping violent criminals back out in our streets. Three strikes legislation is a step in the right direction, but we have to keep the pressure on. Jim Costa led the fight for California's three strikes legislation. He says, if enough people make noise about putting away violent criminals, Sacramento will listen.
You know what I want? Tacos. Yeah. But not those teeny tacos. They gotta be big ones. Spicy, crispy, mega tacos. But I don't want to spend a lot of money, okay?
Jack in the Box introduces the Monster Taco Deal. 3 delicious Monster Tacos for just $1.99.
All this just $1.99? Now this, I want.
3 Monster Tacos, just $1.99 at Jack in the Box, when you want something better.
Tonight's sports, brought to you by Employers Training Resource.
Greg Kerr with late sports.
And the Pacers keeping pace.
I tell you, they're ahead of the pace. They are looking good, and Reggie Miller in particular. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Indiana at New York, Reggie Miller and Spike Lee. Miller, 39 points. He had 25 in the fourth quarter. That's where you make your fame and your money. Spike Lee held scoreless in his front row seat. The Pacers have the Knicks one game away from elimination, and Pat Riley